fix the yardage, the rankings, I'm sure, is what you ideally want, but the bottom line
Right.
is 10 wins, maybe 11 this week.
Absolutely.
Should we just throw all the stats out the window with this unit?
No, you don't have to. You can keep them. You can keep them all. But I think that's it. I would hope for better numbers. But obviously, it's not the case. We track 4 or 5 major stats, and we're pretty good at those. Yards per pass play, takeaways, sacks, those things we track. Red zone, obviously the yardage stats. It can come from a lot of things. A lot of different things as far as plays played. We played 94 snaps on Sunday, but again, we care about winning, and the stats are the stats. I've been on a team where my last year in Houston we were 2-14, but we were number 1 in defensive stats. So I'll take this.
Where does the big makeup come, you think? Turnovers have been very good since the 1-4 start. I know. Is that the biggest thing you think? Takeaways?
I think takeaways, third down's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Our sack's been pretty good since the 1-4 start. That's the major stats that I can identify that's helped us turn it a little bit.
You guys have obviously struggled against mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah, we have.
Fire relief, there's none of them left on your schedule.
Absolutely, man. We've had real struggles with, obviously, the kid in San Fran and Tyrod and the kid in Tennessee. That's been a major issue, for us. Just containing those guys in a pressure game and in 4-man rushes. It's been impossible. So obviously we got to do better there. We got to get to the spring here and reboot it and make it better.
Vince, losing Issa, what is the impact of that on the defense, do you think?
Well, we're kind of used to losing players. So, as far as the impact, he's been a guy that's been a great leader for us in the back end. He's been a guy who's made the calls for us the last 2 months, without Rashad being back there. But again, Michael Thomas has played. He's a veteran player. He's a smart player. So it's been that way all year. So I expect Michael to fill in and play well. And Michael played his best game of the year, in my opinion, on Saturday. So I think Michael will play well. Rambo will play more base now, and we'll move on.
Michael had 11 tackles, is that right?
Yes.
And were they the kind of tackles you want to see? I think I remember at least one behind the line, or were they down the field? Thank goodness he was there.
Yes, he made impact tackles, in a pressure game, and in run fits, being a down safety. So Michael played his best game Saturday. So that's a good sign. Obviously he's going to be the full-time starter now. So we need Michael to play well.
The back seven's just crushed with injuries.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to use an excuse, but you're going to have some tight ends you're going to have to cover in the postseason, and
Sure.
the middle of the field can be kind of open. How do you fix that?
Well, you fix it with different coverage answers. Basically, we can't be in one coverage where you expose someone to a awful matchup. So we got to have some coverage variation so we can help guys with obviously those big tight ends down the seam.
Along those lines, we know Brady gets the ball out very quickly.
Yeah.
What do you say to your pass rushers here? Is it be smart, or is it keep attack? What do you tell them?
Well, keep rushing, because it starts with the coverage. If the coverage is tight, you can make him hold the ball. If the coverage is soft, the ball's going to be out. It's going to be a catch, and it's going to be a fall for a first down or for a positive gain. So keep rushing up front. It starts with the coverage. We got to have tight coverage to make him hold it, and eventually, once he holds it, we can get there. But it's frustrating for those guys when the ball's out so fast. That's the new trend in NFL. It's shotgun, it's catch and throw, and it's been that way all year. So just keep rushing.
What is your level of concern as far as lack of depth now in the defensive backfield with Byron not practicing yet? Obviously, 2 starting safeties down. How worried are you? And also, second part, Vance, is Wald Aikens equipped to play defense if he needs to?
Well, we've got some young guys that's going to be backups this week. Obviously, concerned. I wouldn't say it's a concern. Obviously, when you lose starters and you're playing with backup players and you've got your young guys that's backups now, it's a concern. But next guy up. Everyone's in the same meetings, everyone's practicing the same system, so we expect guys to fill in and do their job. So it's concern, absolutely. But Is it a big worry? It can't be. That's who we've got. Walt Aikens is a guy who's been here 3 years now. So if Walt has to play, I'm comfortable with Walt playing. He's been a valuable teams player for us. Obviously, he's a big athlete. So physically, he has no problems. It's just experience. So if Walt's playing, I'm fine with Walt.
Rance, how do you feel about Byron Maxwell and Jelani playing this week?
Byron's probably not going to play. He's still very sore. The same with Jelani. He's still very sore. Hopefully those guys, kind of heal up this weekend, get ready for the playoffs in a week here. But they're not going to play this week. Those two, they're both out.
When it comes to playing assignment football with some of these more mobile quarterbacks,
Sure.
What are some of the things that need to be done to tighten that up and kind of make sure that
Yeah.
the yardage is
Most of it is really physical. Okay, as an outside blitzer, right? Your coach to stay outside. He circles you. I'm outside, coach, but he circled me. So it's not a mental thing. It's not a compliance thing. It's a physical thing. Most quarterbacks don't run like that. So when you're even with a quarterback, it's Tom Brady, right? It's not a concern. But if it's Tyrod Taylor, if we're even, he's leaving. It's no different than Shady playing quarterback. So it's not a mental thing. It's a physical ability thing. That's the issue.
when I saw Neville Hewitt, he took the dive, made a play on Tyrod there. So,
Sure.
what are you seeing from Neville, and his progression, and are you liking some of the things?
Neville's had a great season, in my opinion. As a backup will backer, he's played at a high level. He's been our base starter for about a month and a half now. He's played really well. I can't name a game where Neville hadn't been productive, even last week. But Neville's a young player who can run. So as a will backer, if you got speed and you can tackle, you can play in the system. And Neville's done well.
In what area of the game have you seen the most growth from him?
Neville, probably the mental part. He's again a second-year player in the spring who struggled with his assignments, but now he's doing things right. Again, physically he has no problem, but mentally he's grown a lot.
Vance, do you have a general philosophy about playing players who might be a little sore in a game like this, playoffs looming, and has experience taught you that one player is better than the other?
We're playing to win, so if a guy's ready to play, he's going to play. Obviously if a guy can't play this week, he's not going to play. So, we're not sitting guys who are borderline, healthy enough to play this week. If you're healthy enough to play, you're going to play. If you're not, you're not going to play. This is a big game for us, now obviously, and going forward. Obviously, it's an in-division opponent who's won a division, for numerous years. So for us, it's a big game going forward. So if you're a player and you're healthy, you're going to play this game. We're playing to win.
And the risks of that, it's
I think the risks of it is football. Every game is risk. But again, it's a bigger picture for us here than 1 week. It's a moving forward with this football team versus a division opponent who's dominated this division over the years. So it's a big picture issue for us.
Then it's a specific play question. There was
Yeah.
a 53-yard completion to Sammy Watkins in the last game. I think it was the third quarter.
Yeah.
It looked like it involved at least Xavier and Rambo.
Mhm.
What could have been done better there?
Well, first of all, it was a 4-strong pressure, and we had Kiko free inside, and Bobby was the edge blitzer, and Bobby ducked inside, and Tyrod circled us. So it started there with the pressure. The coverage is a zone man coverage. So when Sammy went vertical, X should have been on Sammy, but he squatted and kind of let Sammy run behind him. So as the play it broke down, he got behind X, and Rambo's on too. So he kind of saved us by overlapping back to Sammy. So it was a pressure issue and a coverage issue on that play.
Vance, I know that snaps always don't come out exactly as you would envision because of length of drives, etc.
Right.
That said, did the fact that today and Nick Williams played more than Mario, was that a reflection of they were better in practice recently?
Well, Mario has not, been healthy, and Fide's played well, so he's earned the right to play more reps. So going forward until Mario gets totally healthy, I think Terrence has earned the right to play, in that role, so to speak. So, if he's playing well and he's playing hard for us, he's going to play. Until Mario gets healthy, it won't change.
The way you played in overtime, where does that come from? Is that the veteran leadership mostly, or what would you?
Well, I think the entire team believes. We didn't think 1 second on Saturday that the game was going to be, not won. So I think it comes from our total team culture, and obviously having guys who can rush and make plays on the ball always helps in overtime. If you make 2 or 3 plays, it's probably good enough in overtime. So we had a belief that someone was going to make a play eventually, and we did.